Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank the Society of Friends for letting us use this place. I have a very soft spot in my heart for the Quakers. I represented the worldwide Quakers at the Unispace 82 Second United Nations Conference on space in Vienna. I'm not a Quaker, but I was working very closely with the Quakers and lobbying with them on Capitol Hill, and they asked me to represent them in Vienna. I'd like to ask how many of you heard me last year? Okay, maybe a little less than half, but okay. Last year I gave a State of the Union address. I'm going to do something a little different this year, but many of the issues haven't changed in a year, and so there will be some repeat, some things that you'll hear that are familiar, and I beg your indulgence with that, those of you who have heard me before. But you can't leave them out because they're critical for the people who haven't heard me before. How many of you consider yourself conservatives? Maybe a little less than half. How many of you consider yourself liberals?
Classical liberal.
Okay, yeah, about the same number. How many consider yourself both? All right. And I'm really glad to hear that. Some of my audiences are almost all conservative, some of them are almost all liberal, and some of them are very mixed like this. And I think it's very important that we bring everybody together. We, the people of this country, have been artificially divided for a long time between conservative, liberal, Republican, Democrat, hawk and dove. And the words have lost their meaning. Conservative, in the time-honored sense of the word, is a very positive thing. Bob Taft, senator from Ohio, was Mr. Republican. He exemplified the conservative Republican, and he stood for three things, which were sort of the bedrock of classical conservatism. One was fiscal responsibility. Another was avoiding foreign military entanglements. And the third was protecting the individual rights of American citizens. Of course, the administration that is in office today calls itself conservative, but is anything but, inheriting a surplus and turning it into the biggest deficit in history is anything but fiscally responsible. As for foreign military entanglements, no president has gotten us in more entanglements for less reason than George W. Bush. And of course, when it comes to the individual constitutional rights of American citizens, this administration, with its Patriot Act and Military Commissions Act and all the rest, has done more to destroy our basic rights than all our enemies in history.
Hear, hear.
So, I consider myself a conservative in the true sense of the word. Liberal is also a good word, one that needs to be used proudly. A word that denotes freedom from the shackles of habit and the past and everything else. There's another word, of course, which must be resurrected, and that's patriot. Those in our government who try to intimidate us and imply that we are traitors are the ones, after all, who have violated our Constitution, sold this country down the river, bankrupted it, and put our citizens in mortal danger. They are the traitors, and we, the dissenters, are the patriots. Mr. Teddy Roosevelt said that dissent is the highest form of patriotism. And my sisters and brothers, you and I are the patriots. On my website is an article on what it means to be a patriot. What do we stand for? And I commend that article to you. I'm not going to do it tonight. Instead, I'm going to go a step beyond last year's State of the Union address, because in thinking about it, I figure that a president who wants to really serve the American people can't wait around for a year to give a State of the Union address to announce the changes. It must be done immediately. As a consequence, tonight I'm going to give you an inaugural address. Like I said, we have been divided artificially. The powers that be, and I'm going to be talking a lot about the corporate interests, the billionaires who own both political parties, they want to give us the illusion that we really have a choice in this country, that we're a democracy. You guys have a choice between these two very different parties. And to make them appear different, they say, you guys be for abortion, you be against it. You be for school prayer, you be against it. You be for gay rights, you be against it. What those hot-button social issues have in common, in addition to the fact that the government probably has no business mucking around with them in the first place, is that the billionaires could care less how it turns out. Those issues do not affect their bottom line. And so they're very happy to divide the parties that way. But with issues that matter to their pocketbook, like invading another sovereign country to get a pipeline for oil or gas, or signing an international trade agreement to drive down wages and increase their profits. On things like this, the Democrats and Republicans are as one.